This is a story of trust shattered, of friendship that turned toxic, of love, one-sided love that morphed into something monstrous. What began as a warm, decade-long bond between two aspiring doctors ended in an act so brutal, so calculated that it left one permanently disfigured and the other sentenced to spend the prime of his life behind bars. For a young woman doctor, December 23, 2014 began like any other winter morning in Delhi. The air was sharp, the roads still stirring awake. She mounted her white scooter. Her routine 4-kilometer commute to the hospital had begun. But she never reached work that day. At 9:30 a.m. near a bustling market in West Delhi, two men on a black motorbike pulled up beside her. They wore bandanas, helmets. One reached towards her bag. She thought it was a snatch attempt. But then there was a splash and she screamed in pain. The victim says it felt like fire eating through her face. She couldn't see, she couldn't breathe. She thought that she was dying. The attackers vanished into the crowd. But her face, her identity had just been destroyed, stolen by acid. As she screamed, no one stepped forward. In her condition, with one good eye still working, she reached for her phone and called the one man she trusted most, a fellow doctor, her closest friend. He rushed her to the AIIMS hospital. He sat with her parents. He held her hand. And all the while, he knew exactly who did it. Because it was him. He was the one who had planned this entire crime. Now, the two doctors had been friends for over a decade. They met as medical students abroad in 2004. And then they reconnected in Delhi. They worked at the same hospital and lived just a few kilometers apart. But for the male doctor, the friendship was never enough. In 2013, he proposed to the female doctor, but she said no. She respected him, trusted him, but was never really in love with him. When she got engaged to someone else, something inside him snapped. He couldn't bear to see her marry someone else. So he devised a plan to disfigure her, sabotage the wedding. Maybe then she would turn to him. But the said doctor did not carry out the crime himself. Instead, he recruited a 20-year-old, someone he once mentored at a juvenile center, who then brought in two teenage boys. He trained them, he paid them, gave them the acid, the syringes, the entire equipment and apparatus to carry out the attack. Then they practiced the crime again and again until the day that they actually struck. Ironically, the male doctor friend became her first responder. The man who tried to destroy her was also the one who drove her to the hospital. For weeks, she defended him. She even threatened to withdraw her complaint when police had hinted at his involvement. To her, he was family. She had no reason to doubt him until she saw the evidence. Phone records, surveillance footage, WhatsApp messages and confessions. On July 27, 2025, the male doctor in question was sentenced to 12 years in prison. The 20-year-old got 8 years. The two juveniles were tried separately. Now the victim, the young female doctor, has survived. She married the man that she was engaged to all those years ago, and they have a child. She still works at the same hospital, but some wounds aren't visible. She says she will live with that pain for the rest of her life. Now, this was not just a crime of physical violence. It was a betrayal in its most brutal form. A friend that she once trusted with her life left her scarred for the rest of it. Now, hundreds of women in India every year fall victim to acid attack, despite strong laws and regulation of acid sales. From 283 cases in 2016, the number rose to 309 in 2017, 297 in 2018 and 300 in 2019. According to data from the National Crime Records Bureau, while the acid attack cases dropped to 182 in 2020 and 176 in 2021, the COVID years, it again rose to 202 in 2022. Now, the last NCRB data that is available in public domain is of 2022. Now, the accused were convicted in over 53% of the cases in various courts across India, while over 95% of the cases still remain pending in courts. Justice still unserved.